competition. It's always good and we will be part of these wonderful organizations. So I think no matter to say, I just want to appreciate the competition to go on.
Thank you so much. And your school was?
Is Ground
Campus. Okay. And how can I ask you how about the activities? Did you know about our activities in the sport, football? What do you think, and how they? You said already it has an amazing impact on the children.
Yeah.
So, what do you think we can add more? Do you think we can add more, or it's okay?
You have questions which are always the people responsible with what to do. They know what is a good thing for, And when I went there last time, I was certified. Thing that I have seen. I was certified.
Okay.
Yeah, and if there is anything you need to add, it's just that competition and you are already working on it.
Okay.
Because there's nothing there.
And how's the parents feeling, feedback from the parents you get?
Yeah, parents, parents, they always go with their kids, and what kids like most is sport more than even the education at school. Because they want to go out and have that time. I think parents are always, they want their children to have enough time for sports activities.
That's great. Thank you.
So I'm very happy to be with you this morning, and one of the reasons why I like this program and support it very much is I see it as another door for my kids, because I may have kids who are not really good at writing or reading, but they might be good at one of these things. So it's not all about being classes, but it's also about trying something else. And I've seen that in my nephew. He was here in Egypt and now he's in England. He wasn't really good at writing and reading, but now in England he has the potential to be someone playing football. He's now playing with Manchester United. So he has a future. Yes.
Yeah. So
when he was here, we saw that he cannot be anything, but now he has a bright future waiting for him. So it's really encouraging for me to be supporting this, and I'm sure that my kids will find a way to their dreams through this academy, through this program. And I think James spoke to me a few weeks ago that he has seen some kids in my school that are really talented, and there might be something in the future. The parents are really supporting the program. They're really happy, and this is not the first academy, but it's more professional on their levels. I can see that. We have seen many academies, but they weren't able to take their program to the level where you are now, which is really good. So we hope that you continue doing this, and we're behind you.
thank you for
Thank you so much.
I think Mr. President.
I don't have much to say. Most of my colleagues already said a lot about you guys. I would also thank you for coming up with this great idea. Our communities here really needed something like this. And if something like this continues to go on, I think the mentality of our kids growing up will be changed. And that will be good for parents. And back to the feedback, students actually in my school want to be to be specialized in one sport activities. Normally they complain when they go there, they are mixed up, they don't get enough time. They just want to be identified if they are for football, basketball. And they want to form up every time we tell them there is school team going to take place, and they want to know themselves. I said it's them, the Bayine sport, they will first identify your skill, and then, so they're anxious about their role in the games.
Okay, so
And the little kids, the KG, because they are much. Grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, they feel they need more of the fun game. Not all of them get involved because of the number. So that's the only place where we like to improve. Maybe.
okay, thank you for the addition. Thank you.
But everything else, everything is good.
Okay.
They like it, they have fun, the parents like it too, they support it.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
that.
thank you.
Yeah, so we have the man from Vice Future here.
Could you please?
Introduce yourself, please, and we want to hear your feedback.
Thank you. My name is Mr. Bay. I'm from Bright Future. Yeah, so just to say a little about the program, it has really improved the interaction between kids and their parents also in the schools. Before it was just going to school, come back home, go to school. Some would just come to school and then they go back to school, home without much interaction with their friends. But with the program now, we can see that it has improvement. But maybe the problem what I've seen is the timing. I don't know if it's about the school studying or the honors. But mostly we start at 9. We have to start at 9, but then we end up starting at 10 or 11, and then just 1 hour, 2 hours, we are going back to school, of which is not enough for the kids. So if there should be improvement timing, maybe increase the timing from 9, we say 9 to 2 or 3, but when we get there late, we have like 3 or 4 hours to play with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying to increase the hours of
Yeah. Because they don't get enough of it, and they say, no, it's not enough, we're not yet tired, we need more of it, and then the time is not allowing us.
So they're liking the
Yeah, of course.
activities.
Both the kids and the parents, they support the program.
Okay.
So if we should improvement the time.
Okay, we will consider this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Morrison, sir, could you introduce yourself? From which school?
My name is Frederick, and my school is called Destiny Kid International School.
Okay.
Yeah, at the moment we just got into the system, but we've not really, participated in any of the activity. We're still trying to get things organized if we want to.
Okay, you didn't participate?
Yeah, at the moment not yet.
Okay. We hope soon, inshallah.
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah,
Yeah.
we hope.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, thank you everyone for your contribution. And Mr. Ben, I think we'll put your suggestion into consideration based on the fact that when in terms of time spending, it's something that we really need to look into. I think on the school and Bayine sports itself. So on our own path to the school, the area that I really want to put to focus on is the timing as well. We have issues with, although schools, they have different challenges that we're facing. Some in terms of logistics, some in terms of time, and some in terms of organizing the kids. Okay, but that will be a topic for another day. But the main reason why we're here today is to talk about our upcoming event. My own suggestion, personally, my team and I, we talked about this. In order to have an event that will be very, 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 something that everyone is going to be looking forward to, is when we have it during the school hour or during the school academic year. Because if we decided to take the tournament out of the academic year, the flavor and the how would I say it, the real value of it, we lost the real value of it. Just imagine we having an event whereby the parents are not out there, or some students are at home or something like that. It would be something that we, how would I say it, that won't be really nice. So I will still throw it out to everyone, but my own suggestion on that time, on this point is this: we're looking at the potential time, date, and period to have the tournament. I'm suggesting. I realized something. I'm sorry. I realized something that most schools, they have different academic program curriculum. Some, I think, they're doing an exam in January. Some they do it in December. So with that, it contradicts each other. But the reason why we really want to, we are having this meeting is just for us to come to consensus about the exact time that is suitable for the tournament. The tournament is expected to last for 3 days. And I think I've sent our email to the school for the list of sports that we have and numbers of athletes that we're expecting and medals and etc. I've sent it to the schools. I think they should review it again. Maybe when you go back to school, you can review that. And at the same time, I am proposing. I think every school they have a period whereby they do their revision before exam. I think it's about 3 weeks, right? Me, I am proposing personally, if the tournament can happen between that period, maybe like the first week of the revision, have the tournament and let the tournament goes away. Because the reason why I said this is that if the tournament is fixed after the exam, the kids will not focus on the exam, they'll be looking forward to the tournament. But once they get the tournament out of the way, they can focus back on their academics. So this is the reason why I'm suggesting that period. So I would like us to brainstorm together on that note and see which period exactly is suitable for such tournament. Will we go first? Should I, Mr. Hani?
We're doing our exams in December, the first term.
Okay.
I suggest you can do it in January. That would be really good. Kids are back from Christmas because even now, I think most of those who are here from Christmas schools and we're preparing for Christmas and all these things. But if we can do this after we get back from Christmas in January, for example, that might be fine.
Okay.
I agree with you because January is the best time. We're starting second term, which is the last term. So this could be like the flavor of the term for the kids to make them come back to school with some preparation. Also, keep them in the mood. Okay, January is the best time.
Maybe the challenge would be the schools are having different period of revision. Maybe they have already started revision and we haven't reached to that stage. And for them it might be okay to pass the tournament and maybe the other schools might be.
So that's the reason why
that is why they are saying January. And maybe January will be okay for you guys too.
We need to put something into consideration. We need to put the weather into consideration as well. Will the weather be suitable for the kids at that period? So we should, like, it's a check and balance thing. Let's hear from our kids.
December is this. They always have the same with the January. I don't see much different there. But if we can make it to January, I think it's a better idea.
And is it, to schools, we have at least 4 schools here, 5 schools actually. Do our curriculums, we have different curriculums. I guess some people are, American system and British system. Wow, that's another
But I
thing.
think most of us here are Sudanese curriculum.
Yeah, that is not really the problem, but we begin, in different times. Like some of our schools will begin in July, others will begin in August, the rest of the schools will begin in September. But we all finish the first term in December, and we begin the second term in January. And in January, we're not doing much, we're just beginning the term. So I think it's a good time. And most of our schools, they finish in April or May. So January, most of the schools are not doing much. So it would be really good to plan and put this into our schedule.
Yeah, could you have anything to say to that?
Actually, our curriculum is kind of a little different. Actually, we are already on Sunday starting the second quarter. We finished the first quarter already. So because I'm operating on American curriculum. In January, it's not a bad idea, but at the same time we should consider writing grade 8 examination. This can be a period of time whereby we are easy to the examination.
Okay, the grade 8, right?
Grade 8 is.
Probably like
We don't want to leave grade out of it. So we should think it very well. December is coming a little bit a festive period, so nothing we can get into this period because everybody's busy for Christmas and everything. But we should also take into consideration if the examination will be in April, then January is a best date.
When is the grade 8 exam?
In March.
As in, I think, to my own knowledge, I know a lot of schools want to always focus on grade 8 because that exam is very important to them.
So James, how long you stay?
It's just 3 days. It wasn't 3 days.
January is not. So it's even 3 days. We can do it.
So I was talking about early January or late January.
You can talk about mid January. Mid-January.
Yeah, because even January period is
Festive around 7.
Around 7. Okay. Do you have anything else? Okay. I think we will go back to we take all this information back and we review it. Then we will get back to the school on that. So at the same time, I want to does anybody have any questions? Do you have any question, any contribution? Because
Maybe you come with the review of the competition.
okay. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm just looking through the meeting agenda now, and I realized that we actually talked about the period, but we don't have a specific date that has been chosen. So I'm thinking probably we could like fix the specific dates or specific dates for the event. That's one thing, and also the participation part of it. Now, how are the schools going to get involved? Okay, what are the things the school needs to prepare for and the things we need to prepare for? You understand what I'm saying? The preparation of the school, the preparation of Bayine itself, and also some other things that has to do with the competition itself. So I think we should basically talk about that before we go to the question and answer.
Yeah, thank you for that. Actually, we at Bayine, we're trying our best to see how we can get a potential sponsor to take on the tournament itself. Because we know putting the body on the school is something that is totally out of it. So we are trying our best to go out there and see who we see our project as something meaningful. I think because of their social responsibility. So in doing that, we will still keep us posted on any further development. But the structure that we put on ground is this. We tend to have, sorry, let me quickly review it. We tend to have about 4 sports, which is football, basketball, track and field, and fun games for the little ones, because we want to carry everyone along. And the fun games, they have different sections of it, and table tennis. Football has both female and male, and basketball as well, both female and male. Track and field in different segments, and fun games as well. So we're talking about total number of about 112 participants from different schools, like in different sports, and we're looking at about 333 medals to be won by different kids, and we have 3 major trophies as well. We are doing this in order to make it something that the schools will be looking forward to every year. And while we continue with this, we tend to even go more and introduce more sports. But we want to use it more like dress rehearsal. That's why I think we're just about 5 schools here, which are mainly the schools that are involved with Bayine sport for now. Although some people really want to have fun, they have to wait for the next upcoming event. but we are really looking forward to the next event, which we fix the dates within that period. January, we look at our sponsors. If they approve our proposal, then we can go ahead. We just alert the school, and then we go ahead with it. And you again had a question that you asked.
Now, I'm just saying, yeah, we've been able to talk about the aspect Bayine Sport is going to cover, the things Bayine Sport has to prepare for. But I'm saying on the school part, we need to make them understand the things
Yes,
that they have to
that's-
start putting in place now.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Firstly, because most of the people that we approached to sponsor the events, they always deal with data, with numbers. They want to know exactly what we do. Although they have visuals, they've seen what we're doing. But from part of the school, we need the numbers of at least the students. That the data is very important, which is their name, the age, and the country that they're from. And what other thing? Apart from that, age, name, and the country that they're from, one. And two, for verification, because we need to verify, because we don't situation by somebody from nowhere to be included in another school to buy, some malpractice, we don't want to allow that, so we put that into consideration too. And to be honest with you, the tournament is going to be taking place in these premises. This is where we propose we have the tournament. Olympic sport hall. It has everything: basketball, the football, the track and field, and I think the premises is conducive. They can contain over 2,000 people at once. So that's why we are trying to see how we can bring everyone to be involved in terms of the parents, even the students that are not participating. They have they can always come and cheer their peers up and all that. So these are the area that we're looking at. So from the school, we need the data of at least as many people that are affiliated with Bayine Sports. We need their data so that we can know the exact number we're talking about.
So you said age, name, country.
Yeah,
What about
gender as well?
Yeah, gender. Yeah, exactly.
We also need the UN card for the student.
No. We don't need the UN
The
card.
only thing you need is just the age,
The country,
the name, and the gender.
and gender. That's all. We don't need any further action.
Whatever any things that we need more, we just get back to the school and let the school know.
So are you expecting anything from us, like contribution, transportation?
For now, I can't push it to the school. I cannot say for now, but definitely transportation is going to be part of it. If the venue is taking care of everything, but transportation is going to be part of it, because we need to, especially those from Nassau City, we need to pay the kids down here. So, but we'll do something on our own part to set up a logistic team like we used to do in order to bring the student down here for the. But in terms of those that will be participating, I mean the students that will be part of the school team, they will have to bring themselves. The parent has to bring them themselves, or the school can still make a provision for that in order to support their affairs. So that is that's.
So when you talk about this, I don't know whether there is a basic bracket that's
Okay, as long as they are in school and they are affiliated with Bayine, they are eligible to be part of the tournament. There's no, like, we have, for example, in football, we have the senior for male, we have the senior and the junior. Okay, the female, we have the female team for the school. And the basketball, we have the female and the male team. In table tennis, we have at least two to represent the school. In track and field, we have the junior and the senior, in both female and male. And in what's it called, in fun games,
It's going to be
it's just going to be based on the little ones, like I think from grade 3 down.
We don't know, but we know it's going to be from the
Yeah, from lower age. Yeah. Come on. From lower age. So that's it.
And can you talk about the first aid in terms of maybe the kid, one of the kids gets injured? Will it be on the school or?
We have, we normally, in sport management, everything is put into consideration in terms of medical risk management, coordination and everything. So in that part, I think Bayine Sports can still handle that area. In terms of, how would I say it, putting things in place, putting a medical team in place, we're running that. Well, in the area of, how would I say it, you were saying like if there is injury, right?
Yes.
Of course, in sports there will always come to be something like that. We are setting up a medical team that will take care of any minor injury. So you just come in, right? Can you just quickly introduce yourself and school your career?
Okay, good morning, everybody. So my name is Benjamin Gabriel, representing Crown Kids International School.
Thank you very much. So any further question?
You mentioned earlier on that Bayine sent out emails to the schools, and you didn't receive anything from them.
Yeah, we are part of it for that. I think you're the only one that knows received a little bill. And maybe partly because we're not, taking you guys out before. But we know now we put it on our radar.
As long as you're saying the content, you're part of it.
So anyway, I'm very sure every school has received this PDF. But I will send it again for us to have a review of it. It contains the list of sports and the categories of all the sports that we do.
Sorry, I would suggest something that while we're even here, though it's necessary they go back to view whatever events we already planned for the competition. I would suggest it's possible for us to show them via the screen all the things we have in place, like for the events, because I think we have a copy of it here, which is about the games categories, right? If it's possible for us to just display it, so they have a vivid idea of what they expect.
Yeah,
I think if we can do that, it'll be fine.
Okay, why we? So, any other question?
We're having a kind of a parent meeting on Monday.
Sorry?
We're having a parent
Okay.
meeting on Monday, so it should be, it might also maybe give the parents an idea of what's going to happen if one of the crew can represent the Bayine sport on that. It's kind of like a maybe PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
I don't mind bringing my projector into it, so we can just power it up so the parent can actually see. So like maybe they're hearing from us, because they're hearing from the people organizing the thing itself.
Yes, thank you so much for that. And another one important thing that I would like to mention to us, because while we prepare for the tournament, because what we're looking at now is between now and probably January, and we have a lot to do. I would like the school, I think some schools have been doing that, to encourage all the students to be a part of this. It's very, very important, especially in the grown-ups and the little ones as well. The reason why I say that is this. We noticed something that whenever we're doing our evaluation, for example, in an event day, we might spot a specific talent or a specific potentials, and at the end of the day, the next sections, it won't be around. And I would like this school to make it like sort of, mandatory for them to be a part of sport. It doesn't matter if they have talent or not. It keeps them active, which is very, very good for the kids. At least let them participate. Then we can now, evaluate properly. But situation whereby today we find a potential and next tomorrow is not there, it will make it difficult for us to, assemble them for the school. So that's the area I want us to look into. And I want us to look into timing. Very important, because most of the time we at the venue, especially whenever we're having an event, it's important that they come early so that they can go back in. Because most of the time we start events at 10, 11, which is not good for the kids. The sun from 12, it's not something, they might enjoy it, you might feel they're enjoying it, but when they get back home, it will tell on them, and we don't want that. So that's why we're at least, whatever we want to do, let's make sure that at least by 8, we're leaving the school. And whatever we do between 8, 12, we're back to school. It will help us, work, in a very effective way. I think we should put that into consideration as well.
Another thing I just want us to understand is that about this timing, because I want to speak about that timing before. I just said that let me come when we are going. When we are talking about time, we should understand that about the logistic, the few things we need to do on the beach, we are going to spend some money. Are we getting it? This is why we don't want to put burden on the school. Like that 25 pounds we should not lie to the school is not enough. Are we getting it? We are just trying to bring things together. But when we now look at the time, like what Mr. James said, that because of the sun and all that, the school sometimes they come late, and that is why we need to run things up for them to be able to go back in time because of the sun. But when we still look at the other way round to see that sometimes the payment for the field and the logistic and some other things, we surely the money we are getting from the school is not enough, and we don't want to go more than that, because if we go more than that, it's going to tell on the parent. Are we getting it? That is why we are trying to bring things together to make us to know that this thing should continue. Are we getting it? If we want to look into that time, like my brother said 4 hours, when we are talking about 4 hours, the 4 hours alone is going to take us, if we said it, you guys will say, wow, it's not going to be less than maybe 6,000 or 7,000. Are we getting it? That 4 hours is not going to less than 6,000. And if we are paying that, I think that is one thing that we are every program. Okay, Mr. James, you can continue.
Yeah, thank you for that. Like basically, the reason why I said that time, is this: one, our volunteers and our coaches, they're not being paid. And when we give them a specific time, maybe okay, we tell them, oh, our event is from 9 to 12, and they have that mind. Okay, fine, I want to volunteer for this period of time, then I can go for my other activities. At the end of the day, they realize that even the school they are expecting is not even there. So most of the time, it gives us a lot of challenges in getting them on board. Like, oh, and the last time I came, we started at 11, so let me just relax after I'm not being paid. But when the school is on time, it will make them, come early, and it will really. How would I say, it will encourage them as volunteers, because it's not easy to volunteer. They are doing it based on the fact that it is, kids that are involved in this. And that's the reason why we need to do it. At one point, we want to put above, when we look at the smile on the face of the kids and the potentials, we really want to do more. But you guys really need to help us in order to do more in that area.
James, there is something that you should know, especially about the refugee schools or the African schools. In the past, like maybe 5 or 10 years ago, there were schools, but there was not there was not really future for the school, for the kids. They just go until grade 11, maybe 12, and then they end up having nowhere to go. This is the reason why we have more gangsters and kids in the streets. But now it's different. They know that when I finish grade 11, I have a chance to go to university, which is different now. This is now where we have like our schools are packed with the streets, but in the past, no one wants to go because I know that I'll go to nowhere. But now it's different. As I said, you're not the first academy, but what you're doing is different. There were many academies before, but they were not able to take this to kind of a high level. So I know that 25 is not really enough, okay? But we have to see something happening. We have to see that there is a future and that we're going somewhere. And then the parents will be really encouraged to move with you and to go to where you're going. But now there's nothing we can do. We want to see that where are you taking us, for example. And what you're doing now, the event which is about to come, it's a kind of opening our eyes that this is one of the things that we're taking you to. We are with you. We want something different, but we're expecting also something from you before we start also giving us.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so my take, I'm not actually speaking in regards to the timing of the thing. I'm still going to go back to the event that is planned for January. So my take is this, as we are preparing and also doing some sort of publicity for events, I would suggest the school does the same.
Yeah.
So probably if we have a kind of a, let's say a flyer, a poster from Bayine Sport, the school should have access or a sample of that too, and probably get it across to the parents, the kids, just to remind them, to keep them aware of the program that is forthcoming. You understand? So if they can do that, you probably even remind them, maybe during the morning line and things like that. You remind them every day, every week, so it gets stuck in the memory, and they start preparing rigorously for the events that's for us.
Oh, okay. I think the schools are taking note of that. Most of schools, they have notice board. We can always
Yeah, but what you said is really good because if, for example, like those schools that aren't in the and they see, a poster of the activity itself and see their own fellow brothers and sisters posted from a picture into encourage the parents. And every day somehow the parents will come to school to get their kids. And they see those things on the wall, it's going to have different a lot. And concerning the area of the timing, that has to do with the school itself. Because if the organization agreed for 9 o'clock to start the event, so it should be on the school to kick off from the school at most 7:30 or 8 o'clock to get there on time. Because the time frame is the time frame, so we have to work on the time frame.
Thanks so much for that. So, go ahead.
I only have one request.
Okay, go ahead.
Just the access to our location.
Access. Okay.
The bus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This is the only problem that always delays us.
Yeah. I think your institution is different because where their school is located is something else. Well, we're going to look into that and see how we can adjust that part. But it doesn't matter because when it comes to the logistic team, they're always on time. There's no day that the logistic team have not arrived or are not available at 7 a.m. They're always available. It's always in the school. So it's a request for you guys to get it right in that part so that we can, do this thing effectively. Yeah, and that what I say. I think this is basically what we wanted to discuss. I just want to thank everyone for coming out. And I think this is the first time that we are seeing literally all the schools coming together like this in one city, and that should for you to see the power of sports and what sport can do to our community and actually bring us together. And I hope to see more of this from everyone.
If you want to, I'll tell you something, so.
You said the tournament would be held here or the other?
No, here, in this premises. In this premises.
Is it going to be like a knockout or point accumulation?
Yeah, it will be like, for example, gold, silver, and bronze. More like a mini Olympics.
You said, is it going to be a knockout or?
Yeah,
It's a group.
yeah. Well, like I said, the formality of the event itself is going to be sent over. But let me give you a few expo on that. In football, it's going to be grouped because we're looking at 5 schools here. And if you have up to 6 schools that are eligible to participate, it will be just in 2 groups. They can always play 2 games to qualify to semi-final finals. Okay, so they have a lifeline of 1 or 2 games. So in that aspect, but in terms of same thing applies to track and field and the fun games as well. They at least school have the possibility to produce to provide 2 to 4 athletes in different track and field. So they have the semi-final, final. So this is whereby we have the gold, silver and bronze, and the highest, gold takes the day. So we count the medals and the winner takes all.
Is it going to be kind of like, is it going to be online, kind of like live thing?
Yeah, we put that into consideration because we really would love for it to be live or come online or come live on Facebook or any other platform. But it depends on the people that are willing to, have made it up in advance. Even if it's possible for us to televise it, we would love to do that. But it's all about money. So, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I would say somebody whispered into my ears now. Now, he's suggesting something. For instance, if we are having let's say, the UEFA thing, the Premier League thing, I'm just talking generally, if you're having this kind of event, there's always a kind of a preliminary something like a pre-event, whereby the clubs come together, play friendly competition and things like that before they actually prepare for the main event. So me, I'm suggesting if the schools can do this, probably like come amongst themselves, like have a kind of pre-friendly match, in the process they get to integrate, they get to understand themselves, get to know each other better even before the event. So we can actually sometimes avoid violence on the day of the event. Okay. Like you understand what I'm trying to say. So if you can have a kind of a friendly between the schools, Little Step and Bright Future come together to play, Crown Kids and this other come together to play, and they are already like familiar with each other before the day of the event. That's just a suggestion.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that.
That's the best suggestion.
We'll put that into consideration because we really need to, talk to the school authority on that, and then we can, put it into play because we cannot just play into schools and say we have to tell the authority.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We should talk to the school.
Yeah,
the schools are gonna probably agree with that.
Yeah, we'll talk to the authority and we can put that into. At least we will give them the idea of what they are looking forward to, their competitive mindset, which
The step is ready.
are you really? Do you think you can compete with the learning center? Just said that. Anyway, it's going to be something really fun and something we'll be looking forward to. So, in absence of no question, just would like to thank everyone for coming out. And I hope we're going to meet again, at least before the tournament for the draws and all that. I think it's going to be here as well. So for the proper drawings and grouping and how. So thank you guys for coming out. Before we leave, we're just going to take like a few pictures and.